McNeil at the 45 to the 50. Charlie Waters out of bounds at the 41 of Dallas.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. If you give this video maybe a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or maybe share the video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, thank you so much for taking time to watch the video. I greatly appreciate it. Well, the Giants, still, Dave Gettleman still wheeling and dealing, and we had to get down to the final 53 yesterday, and the Giants did that, so I'm going to go over that. But not big trade, but kind of a little shock in there. Almost like the 12th hour, the Giants made a deal for Ben Bredeson. All right, from with the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know. I guess the Ravens really were like salivating, I guess, over our 4th round pick that we gave to them, because we got Ben Bredeson. We got the Ravens their 5th rounder for next year. All right, and we got a 7th rounder from them in 2023. So, and we gave the Ravens a 4th rounder in next year's draft. So, we gave up a 4th rounder, but I mean, you got Ben Bredeson, right, a 5th rounder and a 7th rounder. So, but can't really complain about that too much. He was kind of like buried on their roster, and it just goes to show you, it's just like unbelievable how, like, we're getting this guy, and we're kind of hoping that hoping we can kind of turn him into something, and maybe we can get him. Maybe we can get this guy to work out and be on our, on our team and do good and all that stuff. And the Ravens like, yeah, you can have him. I mean, he's buried on our roster. I mean, we got so many good offensive linemen. Yeah, you can have him. Just give us. It's like, it's just amazing. It's just some teams you see like churning out good offensive linemen, and their running game is good, and they can protect the quarterback. I mean, isn't it just amazing? Like, aren't you just so damn jealous of those teams? Unbelievable. Well, he was like buried on the Ravens roster, and really wasn't probably gonna, he may not even made their roster, So that it's one of those things. It's kind of like, instead of letting him go, okay, and having other teams, somebody's going to scoff him up, that was for sure. But I mean, instead of like just letting him go and having another team scoff him up, it's like, well, everybody's making phone calls, trade him to the Giants. Okay, we'll give him a 5th round. I think it was the fifth rounder that was one that they acquired from the Chiefs. So it's not even like their own 5th rounder. So and they give away a 7th rounder. So let's give him, but we'll get the Giants' 4th rounder, one of the Giants' 4th rounders for next year. So that might be an early 4th rounder. So, so that's what the Ravens did. So instead of just cutting a guy, they got a 4th rounder for him. So it's a win-win all around. Now, with I'm going to go over the roster. Okay. Who got cut, and who's there and all. But now with the roster that they have, okay. Let me go over here. All right, what do we got? Offensive line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 8 offensive linemen. Okay, they got 3 extra offensive linemen. All right, so the 8 they got. The only one with more than 4 years of experience is Nate Solder, and this might be his last year with us anyway. So so we got a bunch of young guys, and this guy here, okay, Ben Bredeson, he's like a guard, okay, but he took snaps at center, and he can. I don't think there's any way in heck he can be an offensive tackle. His arms are too short, but I mean he can play guard, and maybe even center. Maybe we'll see, but we got him in here, okay. I mean he coming from the 2020 draft, just like Shane Lemieux, okay? This guy was a 4th rounder. We had Shane Lemieux was a 5th rounder. But they're both kind of like maulers and all. So, I mean, maybe Ben Bredeson might be taking Will Hernandez's spot, because Will Hernandez is going to go, and we probably can't re-sign him. Can't afford to re-sign him. So somebody's going to sign him, obviously, without question. Somebody will sign him after this season, but probably won't be the Giants. So we might. So now you got Shane Lemieux, 2nd year, and you got maybe Ben Bredeson, his 2nd year. So we got some. All right. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, guys, we got Matt Parrott. I mean, that's if these guys turn out to be good. We got Andrew Thomas. It's going to be his 2nd season. Shane Lemieux, a guard, his 2nd season. Possibly Ben Bredeson, at the other guard, maybe his 2nd season. Matt Parrott at the other tackle, maybe his 2nd season. I mean, we got some young babies on the offensive line. So they can start working together and gelling together, with any luck. I'm not asking for Hall of Fame offensive linemen, but boy, if they can work together and get a little bit better, they're young. So, and Ben Bredeson, I mean, as with Billy Price, okay, that we got from the Bengals, Billy Price had a little bit injury history. Ben Bredeson hasn't. Okay, I'm looking online and all of that, and nada. All right, so. All right, but let's just go over a little bit of what he, this guy was a phenomenal athlete, I'll tell you, especially a high schooler, okay? In his hometown of Heartland, Wisconsin, okay, he played at Arrowhead High School, all right? He was so good. How good was he? He was so good. Right? When he was a freshman he started on the varsity team. I mean, that wasn't happening in my high school. I don't care how good you were. Yeah, you're a freshman, you're a freshman. That's when you're a sophomore, then you can play on the varsity team. But that just didn't happen. All right, so that's pretty impressive. All right, now as a senior, okay, he was all-state first team. All right, he was first as a senior. He was a first team All-American honors by it's by Max Preps. I'm not sure who they are, but also by USA Today. Okay, they had him as a first-team All-American. All right. In high school, he was a tackle. All right. He received the Joe Thomas Award, right, as a senior when he was in high school. Okay, as the top offensive lineman in Wisconsin. All right, when he was a senior, and he was named the high school Player of the Year in Wisconsin. As a tackle. I mean, usually you get somebody, some quarterback throws to 97,000 yards, 1,800 touchdowns, or you'll get a running back who gets like 300-400 yards a game, 76 touchdown rushes and all that. They're the offense. They're the players of the year. Or maybe a wide receiver, who goes off, grabs a whole bunch of catches and a bunch of things. I mean, this guy was the high school Player of the Year, and he was a tackle. Pretty darn impressive. Now he was a 4-star recruit. He had a lot of choices. He could have gone to my team, Notre Dame, but he chose not. I think Alabama, a bunch of teams, but he chose to go to Michigan. All right, but I'm not sure if it's because of his short arms or not. But his arms are 31 inches, a little over 31 inches. That's too short to be a tackle. Okay, in the NFL. So when his freshman year, okay, when he started playing for Michigan, and he played all 4 years at Michigan, right? They took him from a tackle and brought him in at guard. Now he played left guard, okay, his whole career at Michigan. All right, so they switched him over. 2000, he was there from 2016 to 2019. He had some decent PFF. Decent grades. 2016, when he was a freshman, he was 71.2. All right, 2017, when he was a sophomore, he was left guard. He graded out at 66. 2018, he was a junior. He graded out at 68.5. But his pass blocking grade was this 85.4. When he was a senior, all right, he graded out at a 71.4 overall. but his pass blocking grade was an 88.7. Very impressive, and this was all as a left guard, right? And he took snaps when he was at the Senior Bowl in 2020. All right, he took snaps as a center, all right, and he practiced apparently, from I was reading, all 5 positions, okay, for the Ravens when he was on their team last year. All right, now he was a healthy scratch. He played in 10 games last year, mostly like special teams. Okay, I think he had 48 snaps on offense, but they had him in as like tackle, maybe an additional tackle or something. But it was like he only had 48 snaps, right? And as I said, other snaps he got was on special teams, but he was a healthy scratch for 6 of the games. So he only dressed for 10 games last year. Okay. Now some of the stuff I was reading about on him, he's a powerful blocker. Okay, he's 6'5", 6'4" and 5/8 of an inch. I saw 6'5", but he's like 315 pounds. Right, he's a big dude, right? And he's young. I saw nothing at all about during this season he got injured. During that season he pulled this or that. Nothing. Okay, he didn't play a lot last year. So he doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on his body from like last year. Apparently, I said he probably wasn't gonna play or make the team this year. So he was, expendable. So that's why the Ravens got rid of him. But he's a powerful blocker. Apparently, he has good technique, and he's very aggressive. All right, kind of like Shane Lemieux, kind of like, and a lot of times, like he'll keep blocking to the whistle. Sometimes like maybe Joe Judge might like kind of seeing stuff like that. And also sometimes he's kind of like the last one. If they're going to, he'll be the last one to get the shove in. That's sometimes that pisses the other guys off. But once again, Dave Gettleman, he's trying. Now is it guaranteed to work out? Absolutely not. Okay. But for a 4th rounder, the guy's got some really good credentials coming out of college. Now he apparently wasn't going to make it with the Ravens. Does that mean he's horrible? No. I mean, maybe he just needs a different change of environment, maybe a different coaching philosophy and all. Who knows? But he's on the team. He's one of the 8 guys that makes the 53-man roster from the offensive linemen. So we'll have to wait and see. Same thing with Billy Price. He was phenomenal in college. So hasn't been that way in the pros, but he has had some injuries out too. So the same thing with him. Maybe a different environment, maybe some different coaching philosophies. Maybe things will turn around. Who knows? But I mean, I said Dave Gettleman is trying. As I said, have all of his trades worked out. Have all of his offensive line things worked out. His trades and moves and this. But he's trying. And this I read. Makes including the draft. This makes 8 trades that he made. I mean, we got the 2 cornerbacks, the 2 trades we made in the draft. We traded Ryan Santoso. All right, we got Billy Price. We got we got Ben Bredeson. I mean, so this year alone he's made 8 trades. And apparently, since he became the GM of the Giants in December of 2017, he's made 21 trades. All right, so guys, people were making fun of him because he would never trade back in the draft and stuff because Dave doesn't do anything. He traded this draft, okay, and he's made 21 trades since he's been here. So he tries. I said, do they work out all the time? Absolutely not. But hopefully, if you throw enough crap at the wall, hopefully sooner or later something will stick. All right. So hopefully between Billy Price and Ben Bredeson, hopefully one of these will work. If not, both of them. Got my fingers crossed. All right. So let's go over real fast over the roster, the final 53. They got 2 quarterbacks. They got Daniel Jones and Mike Lennon. The offensive line, Ben Bredeson, got Nick Gates, Will Hernandez, Shane Lemieux, Matt Parrott, Billy Price, okay, Nate Solder, and Andrew Thomas, okay. And the running backs, all right, they kept 5 of them. Corey Clement ain't one of them. Saquon Barkley, Devontae Booker, Gary Brightwell, huge on special teams. Colin Gillespie, I was a little surprised about that one. And Eli Penny, I'm so happy they kept him. Very, very happy they kept him. Outstanding. Wide receivers, C.J. Board, Kenny Golladay, Dante Pettis, John Ross, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Kadarius Toney. Right. Half of those guys are like, well, some of those guys are hurt. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when the Broncos come in who will be on the field. But tight ends, we only kept 3. And only one of them's healthy. Caden Smith's the only one who's healthy. I'm glad they kept Caden Smith. Very happy. But we got Kyle Rudolph and Evan Ingram. That's a nice threesome when they're healthy. Okay, they all bring a little something different to the table. Okay, but they got to be healthy, right? Defense. The defensive line. All right, we got Austin Johnson, Raymond Johnson III. He made it. He's donning. He's got number 91, the Justin Tuck jersey. So he's got some pressure to uphold the jersey. All right, got Dexter, Sir Dexter, Danny Shelton. So I guess Danny's not hurt that badly if he's on the roster. And we got Leo the Lion, of course, right? So we only kept 5. Interesting. Right? The defensive backs, Sam Bell. He made it, baby. He was in the coffin. They were shoveling dirt on him, right? Just to bury that coffin, and he said, he rose from the dead. He only played in 6 games in 3 years. But what Joe Judge was talking about, he said he's kind of started a little slow this year, okay, but he just kept getting better and better and better as the training camp went along. And very impressive, because he's a Gettleman guy. Gettleman got him in that the 3rd round compensatory pick, or in the draft, in 2018, right? He spent the whole year, he was hurt. 2019, I think he played 6 games. Last year he held out because of COVID. So he's not a Judge guy. So for the Judge to keep him, outstanding. And I hope things turn around for him. And I'm happy for him. Very, very happy for Sam Bill. Of course, James Bradbury, Keon Crossan, right? Darnay Holmes, Adoree Jackson, Josh Jackson, Julian Love, duct tape, Xavier McKinney, Jabrill Peppers, Logan Ryan, and Rodarius Williams. Rodarius made it. Yes. Very happy for him. He's trying. He's trying. Hopefully he'll get better with his pass coverage. Linebackers, right? Cam Brown, Lorenzo Carter, Carter Coughlin, Mr. Irrelevant, Tay Crowder, all right? Trent Harris, he did very well this preseason. Of course, Blake Martinez, Azeez Ojulari, Reggie Ragland, all right? Ellerson Smith, and the X-Man, Oshane Ximines. All right, those are your linebackers, inside and outside. Then the special teams, of course, you got Riley Dixon, and you got Graham Gano, all right? Which leads me to the guys that got cut, all right? Go over this real fast. On the PUP list, okay, they got Aaron Robinson, which means he can come back the day after the 6th game of the season, all right? Then they have put 3 guys on the IR, which means they can come back after the 3rd game of the season, all right? They got Ted Larson, Alex Bachman, and Austin Mack. They 2 wide receivers on the IR, all right? Guys they released. They released Corey Clement, right? And because we got Bredeson and Price in, all right? So, I mean, obviously, Chad Slade, they released him. Jonathan Harrison and Kenny Wiggins, they just released those guys, right? Afedi Adonigbo, right? Just didn't work out. They released him. Ryan Anderson, I think the 6-game suspension he's facing, I'm sure that didn't help him either. Yeah, but they released him. Willie Henry and long snapper Casey Kreider, but I'm kind of hearing that they released him, but I don't know, there's some kind of like a handshake or something where they're almost kind of guaranteeing they're going to bring him back. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening there, but we could use a long snapper, all right? That doesn't mean that one of the other 31 teams couldn't swoop in there and pick him up, but we'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, Casey Kreider has been released. Tune in tomorrow, okay? Guys, they waived. Brian Lewerke, I think he did, pretty good, but I guess we're only keeping, 2 quarterbacks. So, wide receivers, David Sills, he just was not. His performance on the field offensively just was not good enough because he lacked in special teams. I think that's what really, really hurt him, David Sills. Damian Willis and Matt Cole. Matt Cole, he was special too, but they waived him. Tight ends, Nakia Griffin-Stewart and Jake Houseman. All right. Running back, Sandro Platzgummer. Maybe they'll get him back next year. He want to go back to Austria. I mean, it's awfully tough to come from Austria to come over here and try to make it in the NFL. Very, very difficult. Offensive lineman, Jackson Barton, they waived. Jake Burton and Brett Heggie, so the 2 undrafted free agents that they brought in. Just didn't quite cut it. Defensive lineman David Moe, I was a little surprised about. I was kind of pumped because that man, maybe it wasn't talent-wise, but he certainly hustled his rear end off, and I was kind of a little disappointed he didn't make the team. Willie Henry and Elijah Qualls. Linebacker Devontae Downs didn't make it. All right, they waived him and Nico Lelos. Defensive back Madre Harper, Chris Johnson, and Jordan Peters. They all waived them too. So that's where they are. Those are the guys they got, the guys they let go. But it's like a kind of like a soap opera. It's like tune in tomorrow as the Giants turn. Okay, so the guys they got, the 53 they got here. All 32 teams had to cut down pretty much 27 players. All right, so that's over 800 guys that are looking for jobs. So the guys the Giants got right now, 53, may not be the guys that want to be, running onto the field against the Denver Broncos. As Joe Judge said, the same thing with Dave Gettleman. All right, your roster's never finished. You're always looking to upgrade. And if you can bring in a guy here or a guy there, that's what you do. I mean, you have no loyalty. I guess maybe small few, maybe you got some loyalty to. I mean, like, Saquon Barkley. Maybe this year, Daniel Jones, Leo the Lion, Sir Dexter Lawrence. Certain guys you may have a little. Because whether you drafted them and how good they are and all that, but a lot of guys, it's as I said, they're always looking to upgrade. It's such a competitive sport, such a competitive game that one guy here or there can truly make a difference, and so this final 53 may not be the 53, as I said, that runs onto the field when we play the Broncos in the first week of the season. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!